Hello, I'm Karen Goodwin. I work in Information Services in the Academic Liaison team. Academic Liaison works closely with academic schools, and we offer library support to students, researchers and lecturers. Much of our work is focused on supporting students to find the information they need for their study, and this can be material held in the Templeman or the Dual Hall Library, or online information resources that we subscribe to. I'd like to introduce you to a new library module we've been developing to support students with information skills. This is an important part of our work to make sure students can search, evaluate and use information sources effectively. Up until now, this teaching's been primarily face-to-face through lectures, workshops and individual tutorials, either as standalone sessions or embedded within a module. But we wanted to find a way to make this teaching available to a wider audience and support more students, especially those working at a distance or off campus. As well as using the Moodle module alongside our own teaching, we want it to be a resource that's useful for module conveners, academic advisors and other colleagues in teaching and signposting students to further support. We've collaborated with colleagues across the university to develop the content, and we link out to other content where appropriate. The e-learning teams provided us with training on the structuring of the module, embedding interactive elements and helping with student enrolment. Student support and wellbeing have helped us with ensuring the content is accessible using Blackboard Ally. Alongside this, we've also developed an information literacy skills offer, which shows how these skills can be scaffolded to meet the requirements at different stages of study, starting with finding some key resources through to preparing for a literature review and beyond. So I'll now start by giving you a tour of the module, highlighting the different aspects of the content and different ways we've presented the information. It is intended to be scaffolded, so you build on skills gained as you work through the module, but you can also start at any point. It's also aimed at all levels, so from undergraduate level starting with information sources to beyond graduation with considerations for your future academic career. So here you can see in this infographic, this is the content of the module here. And we start with identifying some of the different types of information sources, which we have here. So for example, we've got a section here on books and ebooks. So if I open that particular section, we start with some images showing some different types of academic books and a little explanation of what they are. So if I click on one of these plus icons here, you can see that's a textbook with an explanation. This one here is a monograph with a short explanation of what that is. We then scroll down. If I scroll down a bit further, you can see that we talk then about ebooks and we explain how you find these in library search. We then go on to the different parts of a book, and at the bottom of this section we look at a book reference and give an explanation of how this is made up. So if I move on just to the next section here, which is journal articles, similarly we've got here an explanation of the different parts of a journal article. So if you hover over one of these light bulb icons, you may see a short YouTube clip or further explanation. So let me try this one. Click on play.
The methods section, sometimes titled methodology, should explain how the research took place, and it should be detailed. Research should be replicable, which means it should be possible for someone to repeat it, so the explanation of the method should have enough detail to allow for this to happen.
So if I go back to the information types and have a look at the end of this section, you can see here there's a section called Critical Appraisal, and this is an online tutorial which covers the different aspects that you can use or different techniques you can use to evaluate the information you found. And this is an example of something that can be used as a standalone resource. So working our way through the module, we then cover search skills. We talk about here how you create a search strategy, how you can improve your search results, and there's a link here to a downloadable form that can be used to help with that. We then move on to managing references, and then after that we have literature review. So this section here, literature review, pulls together some of the previous sections and focuses on the specific task of conducting a literature review. So let's have a look at one of these. So if we have a look within Choose a Topic, there's some examples of how you might scope your search, some different models you can use to develop your research question. And a little bit further down here, under developing a research question, you can see that we link out to some different external content. So if I just open this in a new window, you can see you can work your way through that short tutorial. We also link out to content produced by colleagues at the university. So for example, if I can scroll up, I can find it for you. Back to the literature review section here. So if we look at the section on writing up a literature review, we link here to the SLAS guidance on how to go about undertaking or writing up your literature review. I'll go back to the home page. Let's just scroll down to where we were. So after the literature review section, we move on to employability. So this covers key business resources that can be used when preparing for job interviews, and also resources that can help if you're planning in setting up your own business. And the last section in the module is called Your Academic Future, and that's aimed at postgraduate study. So we've got an infographic here that signposts you to resources online at Kent, for example, understanding open access. We've got a section about standing out from the crowd, how to keep your data safe, etc. And a separate section provides advice about how to make the most of your online academic profile, which is here. And finally, at the very bottom of the module, we've created some useful reading lists to support with the different aspects of the module. So to conclude, I hope you've enjoyed this virtual tour of the Library Research Skills module, and I'll just finish off by mentioning a couple of practical aspects. So all students are automatically enrolled onto the module, but if you are a convener and you would like to be enrolled, please contact the e-learning team and they can enrol you. And also to say that this is a work in progress, and we are looking to develop this and the content further. So if you do have any feedback or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. And please get in contact with your liaison librarian for your school. So I hope that's been a useful short presentation for you, and thank you for listening.